This is not breaking news. This is not a scandal. This is not about one person. What's happening now is a quiet but dangerous failure, one that unfolds in the background while everyone's focus is elsewhere. A series of calculated moves, hidden under the guise of foreign policy and military intervention, are reshaping the very foundation of global power. And in the silence, a single truth emerges. Control over energy is being carved out piece by piece with a chilling precision that threatens to tip the balance of everything we know. This is not just about Venezuela. This is about something much larger, something more systemic. Stay with me. You need to see where this goes. At the heart of this system is a simple yet devastating truth. It is no longer about politics or ideologies. This is about resources, energy, to be precise, and the people who control it. What's happening in Venezuela is not an isolated event, but a piece of a much larger puzzle. The real drivers are not the politicians you see on TV, but the vast, invisible networks that control oil, gas, and the flows of energy that power economies and empires alike. This is the architecture of power, built on a foundation of control over energy, a quiet force stronger than any military. The game being played is global, and the stakes have never been higher. But here's the thing. The more we look, the less we understand. The mechanism behind this system isn't just invisible, it's actively being obscured, hidden beneath layers of diplomatic language and military maneuvers. And we, the public, are left asking, who's really pulling the strings? The question is no longer just about who wins or loses in Venezuela, it's about the consequences for everyone. It wasn't always like this. Years ago, energy was something we consumed, a resource to be bought and sold in markets. But now, it's something entirely different, a weapon. This slow transformation didn't happen overnight. It crept in, a change so gradual that we barely noticed it. The infrastructure, the institutions, it all shifted. Venezuela, once a rich oil giant, now stands as a symbol of what happens when power is no longer determined by the strength of armies or political ideologies, but by who controls the flow of energy beneath the surface. The real story here isn't about the crisis at hand. It's about how we got here, how the very fabric of international relations has morphed into a world where energy, not politics, decides who wins and who loses. And we've all been complicit. Look closely. This shift isn't just a new chapter, it's the rewriting of the rules themselves. In one single day, $4 billion worth of oil was seized. This isn't just a headline, it's the starting gun in a race that will reshape economies and power structures around the world. The military might, the jets, the helicopters, it wasn't just for show. It was a demonstration, a brutal reminder that when energy is controlled, entire nations can be brought to their knees. But here's the catch. This seizure wasn't just about the resources themselves, it was about what happens next. The money, the power, the control, it's all shifting in real time. Venezuela's oil fields are no longer just oil fields. They are the new front lines of a war most of us haven't even noticed yet. What happens when those $4 billion are spent? Who will benefit and who will be left paying the price? Stay with me. The real crisis is only beginning. Here's what you need to understand. This system isn't built on ideology, it's built on extraction. Resources are being pulled from one place, funneled into another, and the people at the top are the ones controlling the flow. Venezuela, with its vast oil reserves, has become a pawn in a much larger game. But it's not just about controlling the oil, it's about who gets to profit from it. You might think that Venezuela is losing, but in reality, the true losers are the millions of people caught in the crossfire. The military, the international corporations, they're the ones who stand to gain. They're the ones who'll extract wealth from the ground while the country itself is left to pick up the pieces. The mechanism is simple. Take control of the resource, monopolize it, and then dictate the terms. The damage? It's irreversible for the people left behind. And here's the thing, this isn't a new model. It's been perfected over decades. But what's different now? The scale, the speed, the stakes. The next shock? It's already happening. The chaos is spreading faster than anyone predicted. Once Venezuela's economy was built on oil, now It's built on instability, and with every move made, every resource seized, the situation accelerates. The cracks are widening. What was once a slow collapse has become a rapid descent. The pressure on the population is unbearable. The poverty, the displacement, the fear, this isn't a political crisis, it's a humanitarian disaster unfolding in real time. But the real question is, how long before this breaks the entire system? How long before the ripple effects become a tidal wave? This isn't about numbers. This is about people like you. People who wake up every day knowing that their lives are being shaped by forces they can't control. Imagine living in a place where the basics, food, water, shelter, are no longer guarantees, where survival itself becomes a daily challenge. Venezuela's people are facing this reality, and they're not alone. This is what happens when a system fails, when the very foundation of a country is pulled out from beneath its citizens. They're left with nothing but the remnants of what used to be. And here's the chilling truth. They're just the beginning. The ripple effect of this collapse will touch you too. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will come. Because what happens in one corner of the world has a way of spreading. So ask yourself, how long can we ignore this? How long can we look away? What happens in Venezuela doesn't stay in Venezuela. The ripple effect is global, and it's already spreading. The energy crisis isn't isolated to one country anymore. It's a global shockwave that hits markets, governments, and economies all over the world. And as Venezuela falters, others will follow. The question isn't whether this will spread, it's how far and how fast. International trade, energy flows, political alliances, everything is interconnected. The instability in Venezuela is the first crack in a larger system that no one can ignore. When one nation falls, it exposes the vulnerability of others. And the world is not ready for the consequences. How long before the tectonic plates of global power shift and the world is left scrambling to pick up the pieces? The future is no longer a certainty. There are three paths, and each one leads us to a different world. First, we could see asterisk adjustment, a slow recovery, where international powers step in to stabilize Venezuela, rebuilding the nation piece by piece. But that would mean accepting a world where outside forces control the fate of sovereign nations. A temporary fix at best. Then there's the erosion, where things get worse before they get better. Venezuela's collapse continues to spiral, spreading instability across the region. Nations fight to maintain their own control, and the global order becomes even more fractured. This is the road of long-term pain, and it's already started. Finally, there's the asterisk rupture, a complete breakdown. Venezuela's failure spreads across borders, toppling more regimes, collapsing economies, and throwing the world into chaos. The world as we know it could fracture in ways we're not prepared for. No one can predict the fallout, but it will be catastrophic. Which path will we take? We're standing at the edge, and the choice is no longer ours. There is no resolution, not yet. We've seen the cracks, we've seen the forces at play, but the story is far from over. What happens next depends on the choices we make or don't make. The system is failing, and the world is watching. But the question is, will we stand idly by as it collapses? Or will we act and try to shape the future before it shapes us? This isn't just Venezuela's problem, it's everyone's problem. This is the moment to wake up. The future is not decided yet. But the clock is ticking, and every second we waste makes it harder to avoid what's coming. Are we ready? Are you ready?